Hello, welcome to the 3D market commentary for this week, the week starting the 29th of August. The disclaimers are up here on the top left-hand side, so please read them, even if you need to pause the video to do so. Now, I'm just going to point out a couple of places that you can go if you need help or support with anything. So you'll see here my email address, becky@tradewithufos.com. There's also this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. So let's bring that up. So, hold on, I haven't got it up. Let me bring it up and bring it across. So you've got my email address that you can email, or you have this link, tradewithufos.com/Becky, and that will bring you to this page. Now, this page has loads of different resources on it, some of which are free, some of which are paid for. It depends on what you need. So you can book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like to, right at the top here. You can scroll down and you can track the trades that I place in my sessions. So that's stocks, Forex and cryptos. Understand why we might close out early for a smaller loss or a smaller profit. What happens when we break even. You can read the notes at the end and learn from the snapshots as well what's happening with these trades and how we manage them. If you scroll down a bit further, then you've got a place where you can learn about our apps on different platforms. Scroll down a bit further, you can learn about our platform. And if you scroll down a bit further, then we've got a question and answer section, which you can use to either have a look through and find the answer to the question that you have. Maybe it's already there. Or perhaps you've got a new question, in which case you can post a question for free and we'll answer you within 24 hours. So lots of help and resources, all from the same place there. Now let's go through to our 3D market commentary. So we send out an email every day, Monday to Friday, which if you need to get that email, it is free to subscribe to. Go to tradewithufos.com/newsflash and you'll get this email that's here on the left-hand side. Now that email goes through 5 major world markets, and for each market, we look at 3 separate elements, hence 3D approach, 3D market commentary. Those 3 elements are as follows. The first one being market climate, which means the likely upcoming market direction. Is it likely to go up or down or nowhere? Now we use an app to help us. It's called Auto Climate. It's this app at the bottom here, and I'll show you how that works as we go through. Auto Climate is a free app on most platforms you can use it on, and it essentially helps us figure out where the probabilities lie. So we'll look at that per market. Then we look at buy and sell UFOs. That's these things. UFO standing for unfilled order in this case, meaning where are the buyers that are waiting to buy that could push price up? Where are the sellers that are waiting to sell that could push price down? Now we see these little UFOs with the prices on the right-hand side. The greenish ones show us where buyers are. The red ones show us where sellers are. So we'll look at that per market as well. Then we'll look at market volatility, which is essentially how quickly these markets move. So we'll look at each of these elements per market. Now this email comes to you every single day, Monday to Friday, if you are subscribed to it, and we do the video once a week to give you context to how you can read that email, how you can interpret it, where that information is coming from. Okay, so without further ado, let's go and have a look at our first market, which is the S&P 500, the top 500 US stocks, which is what we've got here. Now we're looking at a daily chart. Every market we look at for this market commentary is a daily chart, daily time frame. Different things happen on different time frames. We stick to the daily for this. So on a daily chart of the S&P 500, we have a thick red dot on our auto climate. Ignore the lines, focus on the dots. Thick red dot on the auto climate tells us probability there to the downside. That's what that's telling us, probability down. Now we have sellers up here between 42.95.5 to 42.58. And we have buyers down here at 37.13.5 to 36.39. Price is roughly in the middle between them and probably too far away from either buyers or sellers for them to affect price today. So overall, probability to the downside for the time being for the S&P 500 coming from the auto climate there. Now, in terms of volatility, we would expect that in 1 year, the S&P would move up or down by 27.29%. Now, what that means is movement up or down in 1 day of 69.11 points, up or down in a week of 152.13 points, and up or down in a month of 316.69 points. So that's the S&P 500 and the statistical probabilities for it. Now let's move on to the next market, which will be crude oil. Now, as I load crude oil, just to point out here about looking to educate yourself. Obviously, a lot of people watch these things, but they might not know how to trade Forex or futures or stocks. They might not have a trade plan. They might not know how to back test it and get more data to prove that it works. They might not be able to manage their trading psychology. So if you need help with any of those things, we do offer courses in all of those things. And all you need to do to check those out is go to tradewithufos.com. Let me bring that up, /courses. Now, most of the courses come with a 3-month complimentary access to our apps as well. Now, AutoClimate, which is this app down here, this is a free app on most platforms. You can use it on anyway. But Auto UFOs, which is the one that shows us where the buyers and sellers are, that is a paid for app, and it depends which platform you use as to what that monthly subscription is, what the cost is. Now, most of the time, it is cheaper to get a course and get access for 3 months for free to use the apps than it would be to just use the apps for 3 months. But if you don't need to do a course, you don't want to, you can go straight to tradewithufos.com/apps and just directly subscribe to the apps there. So different choices there depending on what's best for you. Okay, so let's have a look now at crude oil. With crude oil, we have a thin blue dot. The fact that it's blue doesn't really matter. The fact that it's a thin dot is AutoClimate telling us not enough probability either way. This market doesn't really know what it's doing for crude oil on a daily chart. Now, we do have buyers below that have already started to push price up a little bit. That, of course, might change things. They are between 91.69 to 86.28. Price came down into these buyers here and was pushed up. So what we expect buyers to do is push price up. That's why we want to know where they are. Now we have sellers. If I just squish this here, we have sellers up here between 105.24 to 100.89. They've worked twice to push price down. Price came up here, hit the sellers, pushed down. Came back up here, hit the sellers, pushed down. Sellers push price down. That's why we want to know where they are. Gives us an idea of where we might have greater probability to buy and sell from and see price go up or down from there. So that's what we have here on crude oil. Now with volatility, we expect movement up or down in the year of 47.08%. So in a day, 2.78 points. In a week, 6.12 points. And in a month, 12.75 points, again, either up or down. Okay, so next market now is gold. So let's load gold. Now it says here about coaching and support. You can go to tradewithufos.com/coaching to check out our coaching and see what works out best for you. We do offer a lot of coaching and support for free. So I'll show you in a second our Linktree link, and you can go and have a look at our different social media platforms, especially YouTube, where we are posting our recorded sessions that you can go and have a look at for free. Now, if you want access to live trading videos and extra resources, that is our closed coaching community, and that's a small monthly payment to get access to that. You choose, depends what's best for you there. So you can go to tradewithufos.com/coaching to check that one out. Or you've got our Linktree now, which is on the screen, which you can use to find our social media accounts and therefore our free versions of recordings and support and help. Okay, gold, we have, squish it a little bit there. We have, we've got a bit of a conflicting situation going on here. Thick red dot, probability down. However, we've got buyers right here that we've just hit. Those buyers are between 1739.6 and 1678.4. Now we have sellers, they're up here between 1798 to 1785.4. So overall, what we have at the moment we have sellers pushing price down, coming from the climate, probability down, but we've got buyers right here pushing up. If you've got buyers and sellers at the same place, the only ones that will win are the ones that have the most orders. More buy orders, price will go up. More sell orders, price will go down. Which of those has more orders? Who's going to win? Couldn't tell you. Nobody can. All we can go by is what's more or less likely to happen, or manage our risk by, this is what I would do, keep out of this, let it confirm itself one way or the other, and clear probabilities in one direction, and then go with that, because you've got greater probability, rather than pick a side where you've got probability kind of more or less the same. So that's what I do here with gold. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in the year of 15.42%. In a day, that's 16.84 points. In a week, that's 37.07 points. And in a month, 77.17 points. So that's what we'd expect in terms of volatility with gold. The next market is the US dollar. So let's load this. Now, as I load the US dollar, just to remind you guys as well that, of course, everything we're looking at here is to do with statistical likelihoods and probabilities. Does not mean it's definite. Nothing's ever definite in life, definitely not in the markets. We're never going to know 100% what will happen. We can only go by what is more likely to happen and manage our risk in case we're wrong. So definitely risk management needs to be applied on top of this, and you may choose to layer extra probabilities on top of this as well, using your own apps that you like, or indicators, or news, or whatever it is. You might want to choose to layer things on top of this as well to increase probability. Okay, so US dollar, thick blue dot, probability up. Now, it has been going up a lot longer than it usually would. So usually this market would go up for 5 candles in a row on a daily chart. We are on the 10th candle to the upside, meaning we have gone twice as far as what would be usual in terms of a move to the upside. Now, still probability up, but just bear in mind, the further we go past what's normal, the less likely we are to keep doing that. So we also have buyers below us between 106.84 to 106.18. They're a reasonable distance away, so unlikely to affect us. And we have no sellers on this chart on this time frame. So overall, probability up, but just bear in mind the fact that we're overextended. In terms of volatility, we would expect movement up or down in 1 year of 11.1%. So in a day, 0.76 points. In a week, 1.68 points. And in a month, 3.49 points. So that is the US dollar. Now, last but not least is bakkt Bitcoin. This is the last market that we look at. So bakkt Bitcoin has a thick red dot probability there to the downside. Now we have sellers here between 21,800 and 21,412.5. We also have buyers down here between 14,347.5 to 13,027.5. Overall, way closer to the sellers, although still, I would say, far enough away that they're unlikely to affect us today. Probability down there coming from the climate. Now with Bitcoin, we'd expect movement up or down in a year of 74.94%. Now for the rest of these, I'm going to round them to the closest 100 because it's large numbers. So in a day, movement up or down of around 900 points. In a week, up or down of around 2,000 points. And in a month, up or down of around 4,200 points. So that is our last market. Now for each of these markets, we've looked at 3 elements: market climate, using auto climate; buy and sell UFOs, where are the buyers and sellers, using auto UFOs; and then we've looked at market volatility to see how quickly we expect these markets to move. Now the last thing to look at is our weekly economic calendar for us to get an idea of which scheduled news reports may increase volatility for the markets we trade. So nothing today, being Monday, August the 29th, but be aware for the rest of the week, we have, thank you very much, McAfee. That won't go away anyway. So to be aware for the rest of the week, Tuesday, we've got some news coming out 8 a.m. Eastern that might affect European markets or the euro. Some news coming out later on in the evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, that could affect Chinese markets. On Wednesday, we've got a few early hours of the morning. We see news that might affect the euro or European markets. Then as the US markets open, we might see movement on the US markets or US dollar, Canadian markets, Canadian dollar. And then at the end of the day, 7 p.m., we have, that's a public holiday in the Slovak Republic. So if you trade in those markets, be aware. Thursday, we've got early hours of the morning, 2 a.m. Eastern, news that may affect the euro or European markets. 10 a.m. Eastern, news that may affect the US dollar or US markets. And then Friday, September the 2nd, we have non-farm payrolls coming out in the States. They often cause volatility in either the US dollar or US stock markets. So be aware of that. Any questions that you have, you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky. So let's bring that up again. Where is it? There it is. And from here, you can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like. Check out live session notes to help you understand how we manage trades. You can check out our apps, see what works best for you. Check out our platform and come down and find some question and answers here that may help you and give you the answers that you need. If you don't see the answer that you need, just ask a question here and we will respond within 24 hours. Or of course, you can email me directly on becky@tradictive.com. So have a good trading week. We will be back next Monday for the next weekly market commentary. But these emails will come through to you every day with the new data and the new statistics for that day ahead. So if you need to sign up for that, again, remember it's free. Go to tradewithufos.com/newsflash and you'll get that email every day. I'll see you next time and take care. Bye-bye.